Brakat Yahweh, Brakat Yahushai, Brakat Yahweh, Brakat Yahushai, Brakat Yahweh, Brakat Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak Kodash. The belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim, the Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Alright, I'm the priest Shaman. This week's topic is going to be entitled Let Brotherly Love Continued, inspired by this scripture here in Hebrews 13:1. Simply put, let brotherly love continue. Yeah, man, just, doing this lesson on the importance of the brotherhood. As they say in the world, it's a true saying, we all we got. Like, literally. I mean, outside of the brotherhood, who else that's close to you that also calls on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai? Not too many people. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you have your immediate family and stuff that you love. But it's just something different about, a fellow brother in this thing that's calling upon the same power as you, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because that man is very much like-minded in terms of whatever action he does towards you. All right, he's keeping in consideration, all right, that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is looking. You see, the people in the world ain't thinking like that. People in the world, they could be very cutthroat. You don't know their intentions. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the scripture says, trust not. We don't trust men or anything like that. But like I said, we hold ourselves to a higher standard when you call upon that name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right now, the book of John, the 13th chapter and the 34th verse, red letter, Yahushua, Lord speaking, saying, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another. Right, so Yahushua is saying, look, I got a new commandment, that you have to love one another, right? Brotherly love. It says, as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples. Right, so if you're a true disciple of the Lord Yahushua, you're going to have love towards your brother. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to work any ill will towards your brother. All right, you're going to work with your brother. All right, you're going to let him know how you feel. You're not going to hold anything in. Pull a man to the side, discuss, because what you don't want to do is hold any grudges towards your brother. And that typically happens when you hold shit in. You don't discuss things as a man. Discuss things as a man. You know what I'm saying? These are the things the scriptures are telling us to avoid, but rather to be open, willing, of course, work things out with your brother, right? By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another. Right? That's how you know that you're disciples of the Lord. 1 John chapter 4 verse 20 says, if any man say, I love the Most High, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. Right? You can't say, you're a hypocrite. Because that's a part of the commandments. You can't say you love Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, but you're not doing one of the main commandments, which is showing brotherly love. And brotherly love could be a bunch of things, man. However you can assist a brother. I mean, the greatest thing you could do is lay down your life for a brother. You see, make the sacrifice, make the timely sacrifice, do all these different things. You got to treat a brother like you would treat Yahushua. That's what the Lord wants. Okay? And I know damn well you ain't going to hold no grudge against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. I know if Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua asks you for a solid, you're going to go out your way to accomplish it. So that's the same sort of attitude and mindset you have to have towards your brother. And then when I say go out your way, I mean, well, if it's possible. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying do some impossible shit, but if it's possible, and it's going to take a little extra effort, by all means, get it done for your brother. It says, for he that loveth not his brother, whom he has seen, how can he love the Most High, to whom he hath not seen? Right? And that's pretty much plain right there. Your brother needs that immediate help right in front of you. Give that man a hand. Another thing too is, man, you don't know what the hell a man is going through. A man could be going through a lot. The last thing he wants to go be around now is, you think you're about to deal with some from brothers, you like, man, I done catch all this type of bullshit in the world. You're like, all right, well, at least when I go out there in camp, it's gonna be brotherly. You go out to camp and there's more fuckery going on. So that's how come we're not supposed to be doing no fuck shit, bullshit. We're supposed to be staying in line with the scriptures in terms of how we communicate with each other, how we, do things amongst each other. All right, and the scriptures is all about being brotherly, and it tells you different ways how to go about that, how to use wisdom of going about that. Not being too familiar. Balancing familiarity. Just all these different sorts of wisdom of how to deal with things with your brother, not letting the sun go down on your wrath. These sorts of things. How can he love the Most High whom he hath not seen? Verse 21, and this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth the Most High love his brother also. And the Most High is emphasizing this thing. All right, this is something that we're seeing brought out all throughout the scriptures. There's a great emphasis on that, man. Romans 12:10, be kindly affectioned one to another with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another. Right, and again, just emphasizing the point, man. All right, there's many different things you could do for a brother, whether it's a financial situation, whether it's a situation where you might have to uplift his spirit, give him some scriptures, do some one-on-one coaching. But in that one-on-one coaching session, you're giving life experiences and you're linking everything back up with the scriptures. These things build up a brother's faith, all right, help him keep going, and that's what you want to see. Scriptures tell you two are better than one. Hey, what did Yahushua do? He sent out the disciples in twos. You don't want to be a lone wolf. You don't want to be, this is not some solo thing, Yes, the scripture says work out your own salvation. But if the brotherhood is around you, you want to utilize it, of course. Because again, there's going to come a time and period when all hell breaks loose and it's not going to be so readily available, where you could just hit a brother up. That's how come we have the group chats and these different sorts of things, all right? To constantly talk to each other, communicate, share feedback, Some brothers gel more than others, that's okay, Some brothers are more like-minded, some brothers might be into sports more than another brother. Some brothers might be into cooking or whatever, video game. There's so many things to relate on, okay? And while y'all relate on that and build, scriptures is always getting brought up somehow. I don't give a fuck what you doing, man. We always bring something back to the scriptures. I mentioned the cooking thing. You could scriptures on how Jake be getting down. Just whatever we doing. At some point, the scriptures always come back into play. So, that's the thing about it, man. And what's heavy is we all knew each other in the past life. So it's just if you click on this side, guess what? We clicked back then. Did I read all of 9? I'm not too sure, so I'll read it again. It says, 1 Thessalonians 4:9, but as touching brotherly love, ye need not that I write unto you, for ye yourselves are taught of the Most High to love one another. And was that it? 1 Thessalonians, okay. All right, yeah. Let's go to the book of Tobit, the 4th chapter, the 13th verse, and we close out with that. This is the book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 13. And this is what Tobit was saying to his son Tobias. He says, now therefore, my son, love thy brethren and despise not in thy heart thy brethren. Right? You shouldn't, again, hold, like despising your brother and your mom. You know what I'm saying? You should tell a brother his faults. If you have something with him, maybe he is not even cognitive of the faults or something that's offending you, because that's the thing, bro. Like, if you hang around any brother long enough, you're gonna find some sort of fault, some sort of, hey, we all at some point or another might offend one another, especially if you get familiar. You might do something that offends a brother that you might just not even think too deep on. But that's when the discussion happens and you talk, oh shit, so like, one brother might say, look, I don't want no shoes in my house. Another brother might be offended if you take your shoes off. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So there's always going to be something that you could say, oh, I didn't feel too whatever about that. But the thing is, you just say it. at an opportune time. Use your discretion, of course. Do you think it's something you could say at the moment, or do you think it's something, you know what, let me tell this brother on the side or whatever? But the point is, like the scripture says, you're not supposed to be despising your brother in your heart, right? It said, which is your mind. It says, the sons and daughters of thy people, in not taking a wife of them, Salakia, in not taking a wife of them, for in pride is destruction and much trouble, and in lewdness is decay and great want, for lewdness is the mother of famine. So the main point I wanted was the first part of that verse, really, which is, love thy brethren and despise not in thy heart thy brethren. So that's pretty much the summary of this lesson. So let brotherly love continue, because that's what Satan want to do. Satan want to put brothers against brothers and have you think shit that's not even there. And he's done that many a time. Certain guys get caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? The whole time you hating a brother in your heart, he's offending you. He don't even fucking know. How does he not know? Because you're not saying shit. You're just letting that fester in your head, and that's not the way to go about things. You see what I'm saying? So talking shit, it's on Discord. Next thing you know, you're pissing the Most High off. See? When everything could have been done according to the scriptures, and letting the brotherly love continue. Alright, so with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim HaKodash, the blondes of the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Zadakim, that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.